Next question says, is there an ideal start position for the conventional deadlift? I find my first reps, I find that my reps improve after the first rep. I also have to roll it in. Is this ideal? I would say no, it's not ideal. It's also not necessarily wrong. There are lifters who deadlift with a roll, and they can do that consistently, and their performance is just fine. It does throw another variable into the performance, though, and it's something that if you can't control well, it can throw you off. And even if you do control it well normally, it's another variable in a meet scenario. For example, I had a lifter this year at the Arnold who rolls the bar when he deadlifts. And at the end, this was kind of toward the end of the competition. There had been a lot of lifting already. The platform had developed these divots, and it made it really difficult to roll. So we had to ask them to reposition the bar kind of off to the side a little bit so that it was out of those divots so he could perform his normal technique. So, and that, threw a wrench into his whole like pre-competition setup and everything. So generally he found that to be a negative experience, and he's currently working on removing the roll from his deadlift setup. So I don't think that, if you have the option, I would move away from the roll. It's not a question of it being ideal or not ideal. It's a question of it being what can you control and what can you perform consistently. In the more general sense, there is kind of an ideal setup for the conventional deadlift. There's a textbook setup. But I find that often doesn't apply to specific individuals. Probably the best way to have a discussion about deadlift setup and what the ideal deadlift setup for you is would be to send in a video of your deadlift. And if you specifically want to analyze start position, let me know that, but we can analyze the full lift. We can look at technique at the start, middle, end, weak range of motion, and so on.